All right, I just want that to go away. Okay, I am back. Okay, if you were with me yesterday, you saw quite a drama unfolding in front of your very eyes. My daughter's birthday party was yesterday, and we were in a hurry, and here I am on a video sharing information about Seint, but my daughter's birthday has come and gone, so this was just kind of a get together with her friends, and I had to just gonna have to hang up. So bear with me. I don't ever have a moment alone, a moment of peace, everyone. I don't ever have a moment alone. Even when I'm sitting here by myself alone, somebody is trying to call through. So it's very hard to do this. So I wanted to get on here live and continue the revealing of the colors and the shades that will be on sale. I am a huge fan of Seint. If you don't know who I am, my name is Julie, and I love everything Seint. I love Seint makeup. You may or may not have heard about this brand, but it's a really, really good makeup brand. Why does that matter? Because I actually have makeup experience. I worked in some of the better environments for makeup, Christian Dior, Counter, Sephora, tons and tons of training on excellent skincare, excellent makeup. And here I am promoting this brand. So if that doesn't say a lot, it does. It should. I have access to very, very high-end products like Dior, Chanel, Lancome, Givenchy. I use some of these items and I love them, but as I've gotten older, I've noticed that they're not as kind to my skin. I am a huge Dior skincare fan. That's what I use. I'm 45. I think my skin looks really, really good, except for some slackening of skin. This runs in my family. Not so much wrinkles, but just a slackening of the skin. So I really like the Dior serum. We don't have a serum currently with Seint. And I really hope that they would explore that realm of doing, you know, a really quality skincare line. I love their cleansing milk. It's really nice. I love their mask, which I hear that they're discontinuing. But they need to expand. I would love to see Seint expand. I'm going to pull up the remaining sale items. We were going over these, you know, exhaustively yesterday, going over each eyeshadow, each lip and cheek color. And today I just want to continue with what I had started. So let me pull up that page. We're going to go over the sale items really quickly. Let's see here. This morning I've already gone to church. I've already eaten lunch. I have to go back and do some errands this afternoon. So we should be good on time though. We should be good on time today. So it says here, warehouse last chance sale. And we do this every year. Seint likes to come out with new products quite frequently, new eyeshadows, new blushes. But lately I have noticed that they are expanding their line. They're coming out with like hair products. We came out with a hair line. This is their hair oil. I really love this. This is a beautiful product. I love their shampoo. I use their shampoo religiously every day because I have very oily hair. Their shampoo just leaves my hair very shiny, not weighed down, and it smells great. And I love their hair oil as well. They've also been coming out with new lip products like the lip stains we just launched. So they want to make room for all of this newness. This is the lip stain or the lip tint that we are now featuring. So this just recently was launched. But they said in a training video that they wanted to expand more and, you know, come up with more innovation, more products coming down the pipeline, but they can't do that They can't do that when we have so many SKUs in the warehouse. We have a ton of eyeshadows, and a lot of the shadows are very similar to one another. And I think a lot of people were drawn to the fact that, you know, you could really select from hundreds of eyeshadows the colors that you would want in your personal palette. This is what draws a lot of people to Seint, is the fact that everything is magnetic and slides right into your own personal palette. Look at all the designs that we have. We have checkerboards. We have like ombre and embossed beautiful palettes. They come in a range of sizes. We even have hard case palettes. This is a gorgeous hard case palette. Gold palettes, silver palettes, anything that you could imagine. There's palettes with like graphics on them. We have mono colored palettes, beautiful like fairy tale inspired palettes. Like, what is that called? Gold embossed. There's just so much to choose from with Seint, and that's what I love. I love this line, and it's just one of those things where you're like, if I don't jump on this now, they may not be around forever, like your Lancome and your Dior and your Chanel line. So I just want to take advantage of this line. They're very reasonably priced products, wonderful on the skin. 45 years old, this makeup looks the best on my skin. I'm wearing it right now. I probably need to do some powder. I'm a little shiny. So let's open up our sale and get on with it. So again, my name is Julie. I'm a Seint artist affiliate. I've been with this brand for about 4 years now, I believe. And I'm an art teacher by day. Not anymore because we're off for the summer. But I have a fine arts background, and I was just introduced to this makeup by a teacher friend who did not have makeup experience, but she wanted to share with me the coolness of the magnetic concept of being able to choose, choose your own palette and customize. I really like that, and I was really interested in the cream makeup at the time that they sell, and I really fell in love with Seint because of their cream makeup. It's just really a really beautiful product. I actually prefer it to the Dior because the Dior look good when I first put them on, but they don't last all day. They don't look good all day long. They settle in my pores, they emphasize fine lines, they make my face just look really heavy and weighed down with makeup, where this just looks so fresh and youthful. I love it. So yesterday we had gone over 25% off and 40% off warehouse sale items. And those items will be staying in the line, but they just probably have too much product sitting around. So they're gonna put those on sale. We also went over some last chance sale items. We started with the lip and cheek colors. You can go back to my first video on the sale and see all the lip and cheek colors that we have on sale, 50% off. And I believe the lip and cheek colors are usually about 16 bucks. And then we went over about half of the eyeshadows. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 6. What is that? Is that 48? I can't remember. 8 times 5 is 40. So 48. Okay, 48 shadows are on sale, 50% off. And I think we left off at, I didn't do them in order. So let's just go back to the palette, and then there's some miscellaneous items on sale that I would like to go over with you as well. Just kind of give you a heads up about what is going away, so you can go ahead and grab that. I would love for you to use my link to purchase, because I get credit for the content that I put out there and the people that respond to it. It is about to storm. I live in Florida. So around this time in the afternoon, we can expect some rain. It's cool. Everything is cooling off. Very muggy outside, but it's gorgeous. Just to give you a view, let me hold up my mirror. Can you see? No, you can't see that. How beautiful it is. Let's do a mirror of the outside. I'm just gonna draw that back. Beautiful Florida. Green trees, wind blowing through the trees. Look at that. I love that. When it's about to rain and the house is quiet. So let's go over these items. So we were leaving off at the shadows. I have a soda. I'm gonna pop that open. This is luxury to me. Having the house to myself, quiet, Not having any noise. This is luxury. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you, these are all the shadows that will be staying in the line. So you can see there's a lot of neutral tones, just very wearable shades. Okay. I don't have every shadow, but I'm probably missing like 5 at the most. These are all the shadows that will be discontinued after the sale. So they're going to be 50% off. We went over the ones up here yesterday. So I would encourage you to go back and watch that video. I'm just trying to see what I've got held up there. But these are gorgeous shades. Some of these shades like Mihija, and I think this one was Blondie. These are really popular shades, and they're gonna go bye-bye. So we would want to pick those up 50% off. So I'm going to go over the remaining colors today. These are the ones that we didn't go over. So let's go over those now. I'll do a little swatch on my arm to give you kind of an idea of what these colors look like. So I have found out that I'm an orange girl. I really like orange eyeshadows. They are great for in the crease and transitioning the lid shade to the brow. Excuse me, they're really, really beautiful colors on me. So if you have a complexion similar to me and hair color, you might like these shades. This one is 50% off. This is called Havana. I'm gonna swatch these right here so you can see the colors. Now let's see how this compares to Leo from yesterday. So we did look at Leo. Here's Havana, and Havana and Leo. So Leo is definitely a darker version. Those of you joining, thank you for coming on. We're going over the remaining eyeshadow swatches and sale items that we did not get to go over yesterday. I'm just swatching. So this is Havana, 50% off, and we have Leo, 50% off. So those are really pretty colors for the crease. Let me see, what do I have on today? Let me see. I think I'd like to put that on for you. Let's see what those look like. Let's try Leo. I think I prefer that one. Let's put that on, just give you an idea of what that looks like. I'm just going to take this little fluffy brush. This is actually the Bright brush. It's a color corrector brush. And I'm going to put this in my my crease. Let's kind of bend forward so you can see what I'm doing. And I just love this in the crease as my transition shade. See how that opens up the eye? It's really flattering on my skin tone. We'll do this over here. I think I actually don't need the magnifying mirror. I'll put that one down. So those are both kind of in the orange family. I love like teal or this greenish color that I have on the lid. And I love orange together. And our eyeshadows blend so easily. I love them. Isn't that pretty? And then this morning I had put on one of our other eyeshadows that we featured yesterday, the Ice. I had done this one on the lid. It's so pretty. Our brushes are great because they're double-ended. I wonder, do we have brushes on sale? I think we do. Okay, moving on, let's go to our other shadows here. We also have Labyrinth. Labyrinth is a beautiful, like neutral, soft brown shade. Let's see what that looks like. Another one that I'm really surprised that we're discontinuing. Totally surprised. That one is Labyrinth. Then we have one of our newer shadows. These are kind of the, what do they call them? The marbled shadows that have like multiple colors in one tin. This is called Winterberry, and it was a stunner. It's just an absolutely gorgeous shade. Look at that. And that one must not have sold, so they're putting that on sale. Or maybe we just have something similar. That one's Winterberry. And then we have Moscow, one of my favorite shimmers. So, so pretty. Again, another orange color. So maybe you could take out a pen and notepad and start jotting down what colors you'd like to purchase from the sale. 50% off the shadows. So that would mean how much are we talking? How much are the shadows? Let me pull that up really quickly. So the shadows, eyeshadow. Let's see how much the eyeshadows normally are. Okay. They're going to be $10.50 to $12 per shadow. I think that's correct. Let me just make sure that's not the artist price. Oh, excuse me. So their retail is $14. See, I'm a Seint affiliate, so I get a discount. But $14 for each eyeshadow, so 50% off would be $7 per shadow. $7 per shadow is what we're going to be talking about. So it's good to, this is a great time to fill up your palette. Okay. Let's keep going. So we also have the pomegranate. Definitely have reached for this one quite a bit over the years. Beautiful reddish brown color. You can see how all of these are in the warm family. This one is pomegranate. This one is one of the more beautiful colors that were part of the marbled collection, the advent calendar. This is called amber, or yeah, amber, E-M-B-E-R. It's very pretty. This is kind of a bronzy color with a rosiness to it. Amber has some pink marbled areas in there. Okay. Then we have Eternal. This was a lovely shade. This is kind of a reddish brown, burgundy. There's that, very close. You can see how some of the shadows are just so close. We could be developing newer colors that are different. We don't need a lot of colors that are the same. We need, you know, like our lip and cheek colors. I love our lip and cheek colors, but we have so many pinks and so many reds. It would be nice to have other colors. This one is called Spell. Like again, kind of a similar color to the last few that we've tried. Spell, look at that. It's no wonder they're going to discontinue some of these colors. They're so similar. So Spell is right there. It's a really nice warm brown. And then I'm going to keep going with the red tones because my fingers are covered in red. So this one is Crimson. Crimson is just straight up a reddish, like a red brick color eyeshadow. So this kind of reminds me, we recently came out with the pigment collection, the pressed pigments, and they basically look like eyeshadow. And when they released these, I was so disappointed. I'm like, what? Like, we do not need any more eyeshadows. But everyone was seemingly excited for what seemed to be just a higher concentrated pigment in the powder. And they marketed these pigments. Let me show you. I think they're in here. My camera's gonna fall. But I have them in this book here. These are the pressed pigments. They look just like eyeshadows, but they're supposed to be a lot more pigmented, and you can use them on the cheeks. You can use them as eyeliner. I was not excited because I'm like, I can already do that with our shadows. They're just so pigmented. Our eyeshadows are already so pigmented, and you can mix, you know, some of the shadow with a setting spray and get like an eyeliner. I just didn't see the need for more pressed shadows or pigments in our lineup. We did not see the need for that at all. This is Holly. This is one of my favorites. But again, very similar to a lot of the colors that we're seeing here. Now, I did not intentionally separate these into warm and cool, but it does seem like Seint has a ton of warm eyeshadow colors. Too much. So this is a great idea for them to revamp. And, you know, if I were them, I'd probably, and they may already do this, I would look at, you know, like the designer lineups like Dior and Chanel, Lancome. I'd look at their color stories and see what they're doing and see what's, you know, fashionable on the runway, and maybe come out with a seasonal color story, you know, for spring, for fall, for summer. And it creates excitement around makeup when you have a look. And I think Seint could do a better job with their models. I'm seeing a jump, an elevated look lately to their Instagram and their ads on Instagram featuring their models. They've got some really stunning models modeling for them now, and the quality is a lot better. So I think they're getting it, but we just need to have some really beautiful photography showcasing the makeup. And a lot of our looks that they've done in the past have been very natural. I'd like to see a little bit more artistry, a little bit more drama, because you know, we can't just assume that everybody likes the no makeup look. A lot of us love the look of makeup. So Tangerine. This is another fantastic color. I'm running out of space, so let's just go ahead and put Tangerine here. And again, it's so close to Leo and Havana, but this is definitely more orange. And I love this color, I do. For dark hair, brown eyes, Tangerine's a pretty color. And then we have As You Wish was one of our colors. This almost has like a shift to it. I want to make sure I'm getting a pure swatch here because I have so much on my fingers. Let's maybe go right here. As You Wish. It's kind of a shifting pinky purple. This is what it looks like, but it definitely doesn't go on like that. Like a frosty pink almost, As You Wish. And then we have Lily. This is a really pretty lavender, pinky lavender, Lily. Matte, very powdery and matte. That would look good with Winterberry. That's really pretty. And then we have, ooh, this one's gorgeous, Una. Una is going to be 50% off. This was a stunning color when it was released. I was so excited about it. Una. OONA. And then we have Rigoletto is also on sale. Rigoletto. Ooh, that's pretty. It has a sheen. It's a brown, beautiful color. Rigoletto, a nice alternative to black. And then we're gonna go into some of our glitters. These were released, kind of limited edition, I guess, but they've stuck around. They didn't sell enough of them. This is Share. And these can be used over a makeup primer or an eyeshadow primer. They are pure glitter. So you can see on my finger how that looks, but when you apply it, you have to have something to grab it or it's gonna be flaky. So what could you use? You could use, let me find something real quick. For instance, like, you know, just even the cream makeup, it'll grab onto that. So I have a little bit of a cream makeup here. Just putting that on the lid and then going over with your, you can see how it grabs on a lot easier. But wow, did it grab onto my finger there. So that one is called Share. Try that again. Just kind of pat that on. It's kind of a brownish black glitter. Brownish black. I don't even know if it's showing. Can you see it if I bend my arm that way? Share. And then we have Stevie. Just gonna put it on my fingers because that's what's probably gonna grab it the most. So that's Stevie. That's really pretty. Like a bluish silver chunk glitter. Again, you need something to grab onto these with. And then we have Bowie, which is multi-iridescent, very silver, white silver. That one is Bowie glitter. I know I made a, I think it was a short or something on here featuring those colors. And then Goldeneye. We have Goldeneye. Very sheer, just a little bit of a wet look. So there's all the remaining eyeshadows, okay? And let's see what else is on sale, because there are some miscellaneous items that you guys need to know about, you will want to grab. So hopefully you wrote down some of the shadows that I've just shown. Some of those appeal to you. For me, I do like to put shadow on. I always get compliments when I wear Seint eyeshadow, but I'm not as dramatic as I used to be. I don't do any more than 2 usually. Like I usually do a lid color and I do a crease color. I don't put anything under my eyebrows anymore. Just don't think it looks good. I might use a color corrector, something like that, just to correct the skin color. But look at how long lasting these are. They really do provide really good wear throughout the day. Sometimes I'll forget to put on a base underneath the shadow and I have no problem with it lasting. I'm just gonna touch up my makeup just a little bit before we move on. So how are we doing today? Is everybody doing great? So I have been doing Athens, which I'm not sure if that color suits me. It's just a little bit light, I think. It's not holding. Again, with Seint, you want to go with a color that is slightly darker. That's just the way this makeup is. And I think Athens is just slightly too close to my skin tone. We're gonna do a little bit right here where my glasses were. And I love to do my contouring. This is one of the things that Seint really does a great job at, is making contours for every skin color. So I've been doing the Astoria, and I have been just doing a little bit of this with the bright brush, which is a Seint brush. Just gonna touch up a little bit. This brush right here is called the Blush Bronzer Brush. I'm thinking that we might have some brushes on sale today, so we'll get to that in just a moment. The Astoria could almost be used as a bronzer. It's actually very flattering. Have you ever used our contours as a bronzer? Have you thought about that? It's actually not bad at all. Look at what it does to my face. It just makes everything look airbrushed. And then this is one of my favorite lip and cheek colors. This is called Ultraviolet. Such a pretty color. It's a purple. Okay. So let's go forward. Let's do some of the other sale items. Let's see what else is on sale. If you're curious, the glasses I'm wearing today are from Pear Eyewear. These are the Wanda frames. They're a clear cat eye. And they do have them where you could get like the metal arms. They have them in different shapes. I actually have a few of their shapes. I have the Larkin, I have the Zuri, and I have the Wanda. And then this is actually from another company called Leah's Metal Treasures. She makes toppers for the Pear Eyewear. And this is a little bit thicker than the normal Pear toppers. It gives you like an oversized look, and I really get a lot of compliments on this. So it's a little bit bigger than the actual frame, and it's a gold brushed metal. Really love that with this outfit. So let's see what else is 50% off. That's so exciting. So we have also last chance miscellaneous items. We have the bronzer in color Palm, which I do not own. It's a super light bronzer. It's going to be good for people that are very pale. We also have the Illuminator Photoshop, the Illuminator in Goldie, Georgia, Glamazing, and Starlit. Let me talk to you about these. The illuminators are powders for the most part. We do make cream illuminators, which I prefer, but the illuminators, a lot of people were confused when Seint, came out. Seint called its foundations, their cream foundation, highlights. And in the makeup world, highlights are, they're synonymous with illuminators. So a lot of people were confused, but the highlights in the Seint world are actually our foundation. They highlight your features, and the illuminators illuminate and add light. So we have two formulas. We have a cream and we have a powder, and they all come in multiple colors. So the powders are gorgeous. I'm going to show you this one. This one is called, I believe, Goldie. Yeah, this is Goldie. They give a lot of shine and glitter. I'm just going to put a little bit up here. And they're going to give, look at that. You can see it, no doubt. But they're very frosted, very, very frosted. I would say Starlit is my favorite of these because it's not as frosted. It's more of a wet sheen. So Starlit is a really, really nice color. So that's Goldie, and you can see it just catches the light. But we also make the cream versions of these. So I think the cream version of Goldie would be confetti or honey. Yeah, honey or confetti. Here is honey. And I'm just going to put honey on the other side so you can see, the difference. This is more of a wet, glossy look to the cheek, where this is a frost. So the powders are going to give you more of that frosted look, maybe more suitable for evening or going out. And these are good for day wear. Okay, so these are all my cream illuminators here. These are all the cream illuminators, and they're very natural. And then the powder illuminators, I will be honest with you, have all crumbled on me. This is the Photoshop. It's like a purple. This one's really pretty. I'll put a little bit of this on over here. Photoshop is like a purple, like a mauve shimmer. Do you see how reflective that is? Goldie, Photoshop, more of a cool. It's just crumbled. If you are good at taking care of things and not dropping palettes, then you'll be fine. It's for those of us who drop everything. I don't know what is wrong with me lately. I've just been dropping everything I get my hands on. So they're just so finely milled that if you drop the palette, they're done. You can still use them, but carrying them in your palette is a big mess. So those are going to be 50% off. Hopefully they can come up with something maybe that has the shimmer of the powder, but that isn't a cream formula. I think they need to stick with the creams in that case. So those are going to be 50% off. Last chance. They're not coming back out with those colors. Then we also have perfumes. Seint 1 through 7 are all going to be going away. Perfume Seint 1 through 7, I believe that would be the solid perfumes, are 50% off. They're going to be going bye-bye, which I'm very sad about because number 3 is the color. I'm sorry, number 3 is the fragrance that I love from Seint. I absolutely love that. The silver palette, I don't have one here, I don't think, is a beautiful palette. It's a metallic silver. It's even more shiny than this silver. This one has like a texture on there. The regular silver is platinum silver, shiny, and you can get all sizes. Those are going to be 50% off. I'm more of a gold person, but it's very easily cleaned, the silver palettes. The eyeshadow palette in Isle. I'm trying to remember what that one looks like. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Seint Isle. I want to see what that looks like. I think it's the hard case palette. That's nice. Okay, yes. Just waiting on the page. So Isle, the eyeshadow palette Isle is going to be this hard case. And they have it in 2 sizes. These are going to be 50% off. They're a hard case palette. They're not paper. They've got a gorgeous, gorgeous mirror. And I think this comes in a 49 eyeshadow quantity. And it comes in the 20. So that's going to be smaller. I think this is the 20. And then the 49 is going to be bigger. But it's a beautiful silver edged palette. It's got the Seint logo on it. This is going to be 50% off. So the 49 is $105, so it'll be about $50, and then the 20 palette is 80, so it'll be 40. So those are very pricey items. If you've been wanting to get your hand on that palette, that'll be awesome for you. And then the Onyx, the Pro Onyx palette, 20 through 60. The Pro palettes are going to be going away. So here's a Pro palette right here. This is for people that have a lot of makeup. It's a book, really. It has the mirror on the top. Kind of a small mirror, if you ask me. I kind of like the Isle palette because it has that big mirror. So this one has 3 tiers. It has 1. And then it has 2, and then 3. This is great for a makeup artist that needs a lot of colors in one place. So this is the 3-tiered. Now, I had been experimenting with alcohol inks at one point, and this was a black onyx palette at one point. Very, very cool palette to have if you're a makeup artist. Having that all black look is great. Then we have the rose gold wash brush. Let me see if I have that. The wash brush, I don't see it here. I don't think I have it out. Is like the shape brush. Where is that? But it's skinnier and it's kind of like this end, but more pointed. And it's a double-ended brush. And it's good for laying on like the illuminating powders just very lightly. It's not going to be stiff enough to buff in makeup with. The wash brush is great for doing a wash of color. Just a light application of blush, of shimmer illuminating powder. The wash brush which this is not the wash brush, this is the shape brush, is very much close to this end. Just a light dusting of powder. That's going to be 50% off. The gold powder brush. So this is the powder brush that we sell. I love this side for packing on powder and controlling shine. This is a great brush. This side, a lot of people like to use it to apply powder under the eyes. So let's try that right now. Let's take some powder. I have some Charlotte Tilbury. I am not loving this. I thought that this would be amazing, but it really doesn't hold up. I don't know if anything is going to truly help me in Florida in the summertime. Just always looks shiny. But I like shine on the outer portions of the face and on the nose, but I don't like shine in the T-zone. So I'm just using some of the Charlotte Tilbury powder with the Seint powder brush. I love this end for packing it on. And then this end is good maybe for under the eyes, like a little doe foot. But of course, a lot of us like to use the blush bronzer for powder. You could do that. I've used the shape brush for powder. It's really up to you about what, you know, kind of brush you prefer. But the powder brush is going to be 50% off. That's wonderful. And it's going to be in the gold color. The gold blur brush, the blur and the wash, gold wash. So we're going to have the rose gold wash brush and the gold wash brush on sale, 50% off. Now, our brushes come in two tones. We have rose gold, which was the original, and then the gold. So let me see. Do I have a gold? Let's see if we can see the difference. So let's see here. Is this gold? I can't see in the sliding. So our demi brushes are color correcting brushes are silver, and then the rose gold was this color, and then the gold is this. So there's the difference. You have silver in the middle, rose gold, and gold, so that you can get an idea of what color you like best. I prefer the gold. I'm just a gold person. Okay. Now the blur brush, I'm trying to remember what the blur brush looks like. Let's type it in and see. It might be a brush that I never purchased. Oh, okay. Is this an eyeshadow brush? I don't know if I've ever owned this brush. It kind of looks like an eyeshadow brush. It looks like this one, but has a fluffy end. This is the one that I never purchased. This is good for eyeshadow. Could be good for color correcting, contouring. This is Blur Brush, 50% off. And then the wash brush, which we already talked about. Lip conditioners and cherry, peppermint, and vanilla, 50% off. If you are someone that liked our lip conditioners, those are going away. As you know, we have a Seint lip balm. Actually, this is the lip conditioner here, and they came scented. I think this one is cherry, and it feels good. There's nothing wrong with it, but we've come out with so many like balm products. We have the balm, which is like the lip conditioner, but can be used on the face to blur. It's kind of like Vaseline. We have the lip whip. These are all our new balmy products, and we really, I guess, didn't really have a place for the lip conditioner anymore. I love this one. The Lip Whip, great primer for underneath your Seint lip and cheek colors. So the cherry, peppermint, and vanilla lip conditioners are going to be 50% off. The microfiber cloths in white will be 50% off. It's this material. This one's completely dirty because I've been using it to wipe my arms off with, but these can be thrown in the washing machine and they can be used as a light exfoliant when you're cleaning your face. And they come in the large sheets or they come in the rounds. The charcoal reusable rounds are also going to be on sale, 50% off. Suede lip liner. Oh my goodness, this is such a good product. It makes my lips look so good. Let's just show you. I have lip liner. This is the suede. It's just a nice kind of neutral color. And I use this on my lips with our multitasking brush. So here are my lips without any liner. I'm going to use the multitasking brush. To add instant volume. The only complaint I have about this is I just wish it lasted longer on the lips. I don't mind reapplying it because it is so good. It's a great color. But if this lasted all day, it would be truly amazing. Look at the volume. I just love the suede lip liner. It is so pretty. I have nothing on my lips except for the lip whip and the suede lip liner. And the suede lip liner is going to be 50% off. Guys, I hope Seint comes out with a long wearing version of that because that would be awesome. So suede lip liner, the shine paper. Let's just test this out. I have some shine paper here. This is our Seint shine paper. Pretty much just like any other shine paper. Don't really notice anything revolutionary about this, but it's just gonna remove any shine. Now I had already powdered. So it's going to remove any wetness, any extra oil from the face. And you could do this pre-powder. If you don't like the feeling of powder over sticky skin or oily skin, you can do the shine papers. Okay, so now we're moving on. Travel case, the travel case. Let's see what that looks like. That's going to be 50% off. Okay, the travel case is $40 normally. And it is a 9.5 by 5.5 inch long by 3.5 inch wide, just makeup pouch with the Seint logo on it. I don't own this one. You can find that on the website and take a look. Just a basic makeup bag. Half off. And then we have the brush holder. Okay, the brush holder is actually pretty nice. I do have one, but I don't want to get up. Should I get up? I should show this to you. So let me go get it real quickly. Hold on just a minute. Okay, here is the brush holder, and this is actually pretty nice. You know, if you don't want the brush residue to get all over your handbag, you have this little case. Okay, it's a flap brush holder. And it has this going on. You can put your brushes in here. So like this. And it kind of keeps them in one place, and then you can carry them with you. Okay, so this is the brush holder. I was using that. I was actually putting a palette in there as well. That kind of worked nicely. I don't know if you've ever seen this before. If you're on the go, if you're traveling, you can take your brush holder and you can take the black onyx Slim palette, which is on sale as well. And you can put that in there with a brush of your choice. And then you can go. And it works fabulously. Okay, you can tuck this in. So the brush holder is going to be 50% off. Then we have the makeup bag. Let's see, the makeup bag. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, a little bit larger than the travel bag. This is what it looks like. It's like a zippered lunchbox looking shape. That's another thing I need Seint to do better at. You need to provide more pictures of your products on the website. The pictures that are on there are not selling the products. If you had more detailed pictures and photos of the inside of the bag and the outside of the bag and someone carrying the bag, it might help sell it better. I don't know what the stipulation is with taking photographs and putting them online, but it seems like the less the better for them, but it's actually the opposite. This is a 10 by 4.25 by 7.5 inch bag. It's a zipper pouch. Okay, basic makeup bag there. Let's go back. And then we have the rose gold powder brush. So basically the brush I just showed you in rose gold will be on sale. And the blur brush in rose gold. So a lot of brushes. Eyeshadow palette in Oz. Let me see what that looks. Is that the green one that I just purchased? Let's see here. The eyeshadow palette Oz? I don't see that coming up on the, let me see here. Let's go to palettes. Let's go to the 18, which is the popular size. And this one's called Emerald. So I was thinking that was the Oz, but that's called Emerald. So I'm not really sure what the Oz palette would be. 50% off. I'm not seeing it here. Huh. Oz. So this is the eyeshadow Oz, which is gorgeous, but I don't see an Oz palette. I don't know about that item. And then it says here, Heart Compact Oz palette. So I remember the Heart Compact. See if that still shows up. Maybe these are items that are not currently on the site, but will be launching on the site on Wednesday. They'll be made available. The silk eye mask, the silk eye mask, okay. So that's just made of silk. It's just a, something that you put over your eyes. It's not actually a cream. Again, this is probably something that's not on the site to look at right now, but it will be on site Wednesday. Ruby slippers, small, medium, large, and extra large. Not sure what that is. Maybe they're like slippers, actual slippers. So as we continue to evolve, we're committed to simplifying and refining our product offerings. With too many SKUs in our current lineup, we've taken a thoughtful approach, removing lower selling items while ensuring we maintain a well-rounded and versatile selection. This intentional shift allows us to move forward with a more focused assortment, creating space for exciting new additions in the future and making it easier for you to guide customers to products they'll truly love. Okay, so it says here that all warehouse and last chance sale items are final and are not eligible for returns or exchanges. So that's exciting. So I look forward to seeing what new products Seint will come out with. We'll have to do a video on my favorite Seint products. That's definitely something I'd like to work on. How fun would it be to be someone that could send Seint suggestions or work with Seint on suggestions for products. I would love to do that. This is one of our sale lip and cheek colors. Look at that. I was just kind of grabbing at items. But the lip liner, yes, I love that. This is the R7. Just want to see what that does if I were to use it as a blush. Just playing now. R7. Ooh. R7 as a blush. That's pretty. This is one of our, is it 25 or 40% off items? I just look so good in orange. I never thought that I would look good in orange. And when you have a pale lip like this, you have to wear a lot of color on the cheeks, and you know, you have to have liner on the eyes and whatnot. So guys, thank you for tuning in. I hope I wasn't too boring, but I thought it was cool to kind of go over all the things that are going to be on sale. Get your notepad and your pen ready, and just go back and rewatch and jot down all the items that you thought would be good to add to your basket, so you'll be ready on Wednesday. The items tend to sell out very quickly, so you want to hop on right when the sale begins. 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Wednesday, June 11th. I think that would be noon Eastern Time? Not too sure. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. And those of you on the replay, I'd love to hear from you. Can we utilize the comment section and let me know what items you might be purchasing? All right, we'll see you again soon for another video. Let me know what kind of videos you guys would like to see. Would you like me to review and talk about other makeup brands? Would you like me to do drugstore? Would you like me to continue on with Seint? Let me know. All right, we'll see you guys later. Happy Sunday.